The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Quick update, and Get Smart John is whacking Ron Burgundy. 73.5 to 26.5, over 100 votes already in. So, GSJ.
This is Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, you better start hitting some jumpers, Ron. You're going home.
You better bring Jack Johnson immediately, Ron.
Tom O'Leary better come calling.
They are needed right now.
He's in a glass case.
Oh, man, if he loses, good gracious.
They're gonna let John read the news.
They took Baxter.
Maybe
The man took Baxter and punted him.
Maybe time to revisit.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. I lost to Get Smart John. Why?
Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah. Taking everything from me.
That hurts me because it makes me feel like something that we have presented as so important to our existence all these years is actually hated. I mean, I do think Farrell's run his course. So this whole new generation doesn't think Will Ferrell's funny at all. It's be like our parents selling us Bob Hope, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gator Growl.
Yes.
Here he comes,
Yeah.
Bob Hope.
My first Gator Growl, I paid for the sins of you guys when Robin Williams came in and turned the whole thing into like
that was great. Funny dude.
French-speaking sailing truck stopper. In other words, all the cursing. They rebelled, and the old men get off my lawn stepped in, and my freshman year gave us the Smothers Brothers. Do you know how unexciting the Smothers Brothers were in 1985 to a bunch of 20-somethings?
Yeah, that's
Good
not
Lord.
a big sell.
Not a good one.
What, Artie Johnson wasn't available? Come on,
very
man.
Nice. Artie Johnson.
What are you doing to me?
So we were talking about wide receivers in first round, so I've dialed them up. You can tell me hits or misses here. We'll play.
Well,
let's get
it's
a
hard
little
to know.
scientific. You can tell me if they're a hit or a miss.
You're saying they've already?
Yeah.
I thought you
I
were
looked them up,
trying to C.D. Lamb, a hit.
It's a little early, but Marquise Brown and N'Keal Harry were the two first-rounders last year.
Hollywood Brown looks like he was worth the pick, and Harry didn't play until the end of the year, but he made a couple of plays at that point.
I'd say 1-1. DJ Moore?
I'd say we really couldn't do that.
DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, both are hits.
All right. DJ Moore's a hit.
100%. He had a really good year.
All right. Corey Davis, another Mike Williams, John Ross.
Some of these I'm not comfortable yet saying hit or miss.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say that Ross has not been healthy. He flashed like at the beginning of last year.
Ross is a miss. You take him ninth. He's 3 years in, and he's
that's
a miss.
fair.
Yeah.
Corey Davis is a miss. They've got A.J. Brown has quickly become what they needed him to be. And what's the other one?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams has to this point been a miss.
Yeah. This was the bad one. Corey Coleman.
Miss.
Will Fuller.
Miss. Not worth a first round pick.
Josh Dotson.
Miss.
Laquan Treadwell.
Miss.
Now,
listen.
Yeah.
In fairness, who knows where those guys stack up against this group? Because they're saying that this group is
with the 47th pick in the second round that year, Michael Thomas.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
Wasn't Hopkins a second or at least a late first? I mean.
Yeah. Demarcus Robinson, 126th pick, still playing in the league. Better than all these guys in front of him. Pharaoh Cooper, Ricardo Lewis, Malcolm Mitchell, Chris Moore, Leonte.
You didn't find anyone deep in that draft either, though. So that, to your point.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. But
165th pick overall.
And again, a lot of people knew that Tyreek Hill could play and didn't take him because of what baggage he brought.
Correct. So, a couple others, and then we'll move on from this exercise in futility. Amari Cooper, Kevin White, Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Perryman, Philip Dorsett.
These are
first-round picks.
First rounders, all those guys?
Yeah.
That's atrocious.
Yeah, Cooper would be about it, right? Aguilar's okay.
That's a miss.
Well, he's 20th pick, so.
First round is first round. The Jags have the 20th pick. If they take a receiver in that pick this year and he has Nelson Aguilar's numbers.
Louis.
Yeah. If he has Nelson Aguilar's numbers in 4 years, we're going to say it was a bust.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Matt Jones has that kind of number. Reggie Williams has those kind of numbers.
This one's a little better.
I mean, we can look at our own guys, Hick. I mean, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham, Brandon Cooks, Kelvin Benjamin.
And Benjamin was out of the gates was as good as any of them.
Yeah.
But he's the only miss in that group.
Yeah. Right? Well, Sammy Watkins is not, but he's a good player.
And when he first came into the league, he hit a 1,000-yard season. He's
Here's Tavon Austin was 8th, and DeAndre Hopkins was 27th. Cordarrelle Patterson 29th. So
2 misses and a hit.
Yeah. So it's just then of course,
I think it's probably, we could probably do this for every position. That's the one thing that whenever we're arguing, if you don't take them there, you can get him in round 4. You can say the same thing about a guard. You say the same thing about a running back. Say the same thing about you say the same thing about a lot of positions. And what's amazing when we look at these exercises, it really is, you can't help but come to the conclusion that many, many, many people who work high up in football operations are way overpaid. It's just, this is your premier event to showcase how good you are at what you do.
Yeah.
And the way it should work in perfect is your 8 draft picks would come in, and there'd be a hell of a competition on your roster to see who can hold them off. And at the end of the day, it just seems like we have throwaway pick after throwaway pick after throwaway pick that just guys that not just Jacksonville. When I say we, I mean the league.
Yeah.
I mean, look at any first round. I mean, let's just continue your exercise with just this little experiment. Give me the 2016 draft, just the whole first round. Not just the receivers, hit or a miss. And it's
2016, why?
Well, because it's 5 years. I mean, 16, 17, 18, that's 4 years. It gives you some time to know what people are.
All right, real quick.
Yeah.
We'll play this game.
Why
Bear
not?
with us. It's fun.
Yeah.
Friday. We're getting drunk. We're getting drunk. Leave us alone. I might have a fireball after this.
Well, it's funny that you said that. There is a bottle of Guns N' Roses wine that's been aged to perfection for 12 years, and it's sitting in there in the office.
Chug-a-lug.
I'm seriously considering if I can find a corkscrew in this bad boy to just...
Might be time.
Yeah, mimosas in the morning. That's not how you make mimosas, but I'll call it one.
I mean, it's 30 days in. It's only the 10th of April.
Correct.
We're grinding.
Will you give me a ride home, friend, if I get schnockered?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here we go. Hits and misses. Beef got some hits and misses.
I once got to drink beer on the air. I've done that once. I don't remember
you
what
chugged a shot here, a fireball
You're the
shot.
fireball shooter.
A shot doesn't even count.
That was
You
a
were
good
drunk
shot.
as a skunk.
That was a good. That wasn't just like a little throwbacker. That was about a 3-chugger.
Yeah, but that's Fireball. It's like Yoo-hoo. It's not even an alcohol. It's like eating a Red Hot.
You hoo to me, no.
I drank yours too. I think I may have drank yours too.
No, I drank it. Remember?
No, I don't. I don't remember that at all. I remember you turning it.
Got
to
the
your
gums.
lips. Yeah.
Numb them up.
What are you on coke? I mean, what are we doing?
Can't
Veteran
feel.
move, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan dipped his finger in the Fireball and rubbed it on his gums like you see in on The Wire. On the Scarface.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff would be a hit.
Would he?
100%. He took a team to the Super Bowl.
He did. Carson Wentz.
Hit.
Joey Bosa.
Hit.
Zeke Elliott.
Hit.
Jalen Ramsey.
Hit.
Ronnie Stanley.
Miss.
No. He starts for the Ravens. He's a hit. DeForest Buckner.
There's a hit.
This is a hell of a draft. Jack Conklin.
Hit.
Lenny Floyd. He's probably a miss. The Bears let him go.
Yeah, but I was surprised they let him go. And in fact, I'm surprised the Jags haven't rang Mr. Floyd and see just what's happening out there.
Eli Apple.
I mean, these
starter in the NFL.
They're not complete misses.
No. Vernon Hargraves.
A miss.
Sheldon Rankins.
That's okay.
Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, hit.
Good draft.
I picked the wrong draft.
You did. Carl Joseph.
I don't know. Nice, okay for the Raiders, right? A safety.
Yeah. Corey Coleman. The Browns.
Here he's back again. Poor Corey. It's been a poor segment for him.
Taylor Decker.
I'm not sure. Is he with who's he with? The Lions?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Keanu Neal.
Hit.
Ryan Kelly. Colts center. Hit.
Yeah, hit.
Shaq Lawson.
Hit.
Darren Lee. Will Fuller. Josh Dotson. Laquan. Just don't draft receivers. That's so much for your year.
Oh, my God, yeah. Well, that pointed that out.
Wow.
I would have you go through another 7 years,
heck of a
but
draft,
it would
man.
probably get old after
That was
a
a
while.
good draft. That's enough of that. Let's move on.
So, listen, you know what? This was refreshing from Leonard. And at some point, if we can, it's hard. And it's harder for me than anyone. I'm so cynical, and I get so frustrated that I let my frustration overtake my hope sometime when it comes to the Jaguars. But one thing you can take from what Leonard said yesterday on Instagram, while you and me and your neighbor and the guy down the street may have no confidence that this team is doing anything in the right direction, I promise you it's not just speak, But Leonard Fournette and Gardner Minshew and DJ Chark and Josh Allen and Miles Jack, they all think they can win and go to the playoffs next year.
I want to comment on that. On the 1010XL text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Get Smart John averages 9 shout-outs per Wednesday over a 10-year period. That's 5,000 plus votes in John's favor from the start. John has been preparing for this bracket challenge for a decade.
That's fair. That's a fair accusation.
That is fair.
I wonder if we would have made it Get Smart John shout-outs if it could have won.
Might have lost badly.
Now, so Leonard says what? We're going to be good? Is that what he's saying?
Well, hold on a second. I also want to say this, too, because I quickly put Mike Williams in the miss department.
Yes.
But from the text line, at least, Williams in 2 unhealthy years had a 10-touchdown season and a 1,000-yard season.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Well, that's not a miss.
Let's get him healthy.
That's not a miss.
Yeah.
No, Leonard just, my point isn't so much to specifically what Leonard said.
Yeah.
I don't think he's just saying that. NFL players, and not just here, okay? But like I said, that group of guys that I just mentioned and others, they think that they think they're going to win.
Yeah.
They think, I'm an NFL player.
Yeah.
It's not always correct thought.
I'm glad they do.
Well,
they're wrong.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
I have zero optimism about
Well,
this
I
team.
hear that. That's my point is that optimism, that pessimism doesn't exist to the guys that are going to determine it. Your and I pessimism ain't going to matter on September 12th.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And so at least I don't have, this is a guy who was last we saw was scrubbing midgets from his Instagram as the sell-off was going on.
Yeah.
So
I don't expect. Do you expect Leonard Fournette to be on this football team going forward?
This year I do, but you mean after that?
Yeah.
No, and I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would be drafting his replacement this year, and I would run Leonard into the ground this year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what and I don't mean that meanly.
No.
I'm just saying I'm going to use up as much of his as I can. Leonard made a lot of money as top 4 pick.
Yeah.
Those guys that are picked up there aren't, slumming by any stretch when it comes to cash.
Your point being the Jaguar players think they're going to have CNC signs at this. Okay, we can be good.
You're the sum of your parts. Don't get me wrong, but I've said this before, and maybe this doesn't match up against other teams, but DJ Chark and Leonard Fournette and Josh Allen, and I mean you can come up with a core of 8 players that are pretty good, that are way above average.
You know what? Hayes Carline did the top 10 players.
I disagreed with his list, but
I looked at it and I was like,
that's actually the list.
That's our 10 best players.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that.
I mean, that's my point. That's what that brought me down even more when I saw it. So I understand what you're saying, and that's cool. I mean, the players should believe they're pros. They've won a lot in their lives, but when you start trotting out some of these guys that are our 10 best versus the other 10 best of the other teams, now I see why we're in the Power Bowl.
Here's what happens too, though. It's hard. It's hard. You again, and it feeds into us this era, this age of instant impact. Okay, I mean, we should. Why do we not see a even higher ceiling for, say, DJ Chark? I mean, it took Jimmy Smith 5 years to have the kind of numbers that DJ Chark had last year.
I hope he does. I hope he's a superstar.
I know you hope he does, but why do we just...
I mean, we signed a guy in free agency who many of us have never heard of, and he vaulted to the 4-hole in the Jaguars' top 10.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one.
Well...
Although we'd heard him, but that was your narrative on that one.
I mean, who you got after him? Tyler Eifert's in the top 10.
He's 10th. I don't understand that a bit.
Well, who are you going to put instead?
I'd put Jawan Taylor.
He's up there. He's 6th.
All right. So what is this? This is Hayes' top 10 of Jaguar players right now?
Yeah.
So is Unique on the list, right? They've signed him.
Well, no, he kept him out. But that's fair.
Well, but Unique should be.
Well, he mentioned him, though.
So who does he have as the best player? Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Is number
DJ
1?
DJ Chark, Lenny Fournette.
If DJ Chark and Leonard Fournette are 2 and 3, then yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're guys.
No, they're guys.
DJ Chark might be potentially. Hopefully, he gets better this year, and that'll be great.
Did make some. He made.
And Leonard Fournette's
solid.
He's good.
He's a solid.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Not a great player.
No, he's just a
good
solid
player.
running back. He's like a. I'm trying to think of somebody like it is historically who's been him.
I mean, then we got Joe Schobert. This Joe Show is in a 4-hole hitting cleanup. And then we got Brandon Linder and Jawan Taylor. So we got 2 offensive linemen and a running back on a team that rushed for 3 touchdowns last year of 1 yard. that does not invoke
I'm not afraid
optimism
of
nor enthusiasm from this guy, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not afraid of an argument. I'm going to step out of this one, though.
That kind of guy.
I'm not suddenly going to be
the
a pom-pom guy, but I'm just saying.
I know, you're not.
Those guys may be better than we think they are. That's a possibility.
So. Then we got a guy in the 7 hole who we paid a boatload of cash to last year and played some and was bad and then didn't play because he was hurt, and now we're moving his position.
Miles Jack.
Yeah. So it just doesn't get me pumped, I guess.
Yeah, you.
Let me put it this way: if we draft 9, 20, and 42, and we hit
we may have three
we might have
top
three
10.
top 10 guys.
Well, that may be true. Would that be the case with a lot of people?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I'd have to look at other. Hey, here's the bigger problem, Dan, and it feeds into all that. Forget their little the points of optimism from some of the players and from the coaches and whoever.
Yes, sir.
There's one thing that as I've grown into an old age sports fan and been doing this forever.
Middle aged.
It's real.
Middle aged.
This is real, okay? Mm-hmm. And not that you can't have a transfusion and completely change your identity, get a faceless and everything. Franchises have DNA, and our DNA here is a poisoned pill of disgusting failure. And no matter what you do, you don't ever completely turn the tide.
Yeah.
Ask the Browns. Last year they were going to the Super Bowl, Hick.
Yeah.
And once again, with a needle pointing up, they could not overcome their own DNA. And the Jaguars' DNA is terrible. They have firmly established themselves as one of the worst, if not the worst franchise in the entire NFL. That's not opinion. That's results.
Now, if we were at KDKA and we were slopping up a couple of those Primanti Brothers sandwiches and doing the lunchtime show in 1967 in Pittsburgh after 45 years, you could have said the exact same thing. So the DNA is changeable, is what I'm trying to say.
But
if we were in Green Bay for a long time.
But they won before that, so I could argue that Green Bay's DNA was always been.
When did they win?
The Packers?
Yeah.
Like in the 60s.
Okay, but
you mean like in the.
Right.
I don't know what they did.
Or.
I am of the belief that the NFL did not exist in 1940.
Okay,
that's a lie.
But the Packers were staring into the abyss for 25 years after Vince left.
Okay.
So.
I guess I'm talking about right now. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I'm just saying it is.
The Braves had losing DNA forever, Dan.
Yeah,
and now
I just don't want you to present
winning.
there's no hope. I just want a flicker.
What?
Give me a flicker.
I started this segment trying to flicker, and you poured a big bucket of water on it.
Yeah.
So
I did.
I don't want to end the segment as if I'm the deflickerer.
You deflicked.
I didn't deflict.
How'd he deflict, Beef? Did he deflict?
I'm telling you that the Jags have a lot to overcome, including what has become their
I'm telling you, Breakfast
DNA.
with Vasselli, we're going to hear this about 13 times this year. And the big fella, once he gets his wits back about him, is going to come out here and tell us we got the best offensive line in the league, that we're going to go
He's done that before.
12-4.
He had a 16-0 one year.
That we're going to be in the postseason.
Yeah.
And that we have an outside shot at making the Super Bowl after the draft.
Yeah.
And then I know things will be back to normal.
How about this comparison?
Yes,
I like this one. I think this is a very good comparison. The Jaguars have had Leonard Fournette on their roster in the past. When it comes to just style and like the way they run, how they're built. James Stewart's a lot like James Stewart.
Yeah, except James Stewart had 5 touchdowns in one game. Leonard had 3 last year.
Leonard is better than James Stewart. He's been better. As a Jaguar, he's better than James Stewart. Did James Stewart have a 1,000-yard rushing year? So he's had 2. So let's, be fair.
Well, I'm just being fair. I'm spouting facts here, brother.
But he's not Fred Taylor is the point. Neither one of them are. That's what you need
not
for.
get Fred Taylor.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, it's a JB Coxwell Friday. We've got a lot more to get to here today.
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to do, Dan. During the break, you have this little homework assignment.
Not going to do it.
I want you to pull up Tiger Woods' major victories.
Okay,
the 15 of them.
I like it.
And then when we come back, Tiger has ranked his 15 majors.
James Stewart had 2,000-yard seasons.
For the Jags?
For Detroit.
Yeah, well, that's different.
951 for the Jags.
I understand. Okay.
13 touchdowns one year.
Yeah,
8.
So did Leonard.
Leonard never had 13.
What did he have his rookie year, Dan?
10. 10.
Pass and receiving total touchdowns. 10 touchdowns.
Damn right.
I think you're throwing out numbers, and I'm going to throw them back. This is the drill.